Welcome back to the homestead. We have finally gotten our real fall weather. It's pretty chilly here today, although it looks beautiful out. It's probably in the low 40s right now, and we're going to have a high today of not quite 50. I was going to take you around and show you a little bit of what fall is looking like here on the homestead, and we'll go and visit Ted for a minute too. As you can see, there's not many leaves left on the trees. One of the last few holdouts is actually our little peach that we planted this spring. And it's grown a lot. But it does still have some leaves left. You can also see that unfortunately, we've been having some deer issues. And what they do is they come in and they chomp off all these tender little twigs, and they came in and they ate a whole bunch of our strawberry plants. And when I say a whole bunch, I mean basically every strawberry bed they have managed to come in and have a little nibble on and cause a lot of problems for us, unfortunately. So we'll be working harder to figure out how we can keep the deer out. They've also done some pretty substantial damage to this tree, which they seem to have managed to do every year to this poor tree so far. The deer are pretty, but they're kind of a frustration for us at times because they do cause a lot of damage to the garden. You can see they actually even got up in this bed here and walked through it. And this tree again has some pretty substantial damage, eaten limbs. So we'll be working hard to try and get them to stay out of this area as much as possible. I think we're going to add an electric strand so that they can't do that so much. You can see our apple trees are still looking really good. Few leaves left on them, but probably not for long. I'm going to take you over and we'll take a quick look at the new grass that we put in after we did our excavator project the other day. As you can see, the grass is really starting to come in down here in this basin area where we did the new side hill here. It's looking very, very green, so we're really happy about that because we didn't really expect this grass to root in very well this season, but we've had such warm weather that it's really been growing a lot more than we anticipated. Let's go up here and see what Ryan is up to. That looks like a lot of cardboard there, Ryan.
Yes. So as you can see, I'm doing a little cleanup. I'm not going to show you in this video. We'll show you in another video coming up soon. But we have no more lead acid batteries in our power shed. We may have got some lithium batteries and got them installed. So anyway, I'm going to finish cleaning this up and we'll go see if we can find some animals. I bet Ted is looking for some food. Alright, so I picked up all my foam from the batteries. Let's go see if we can find some animals. You may notice on your way by that there's some dodgy parts out in the driveway. The Dodge is like, just a sneak peek for you guys. You'll see the videos coming up. But we actually fired it up a night ago. We're waiting on the intercooler and the intercooler boots. And we can put the intercooler and the radiator back in and we can take it for our first test drive. But it's all back together, waiting on just a couple little parts. So, pretty excited about that. Well, let's go see if we can find some animals. Some mice in the wheelbarrow.
He didn't say mice. he said ice. And that's actually, it's thick enough that I did manage to crack it with my hand, but that's probably almost an inch thick ice.
And you'll notice, I don't know if Sue showed you, but we got the camper out. We're like a week and a half away from going to Florida, so we're kind of excited about that. Maybe 2 weeks. We're gonna get the chickens weathered winterized. Still got food. I'd like some water. But as we go over the next 2 or 3 days to a week, we got to clean the chicken coop out. We'll bring you guys along to that. We got to get it covered up for the winter so they stay warm. Probably got to get just a little bit more hay for the pony.
And make a new hay shed.
Yes, so because we're going to be gone for maybe up to 3-4 months, we really don't know how long we're going to stay gone. A round bale will last Ted about 4 weeks. So we're thinking we're going to build a little hay hut that maybe can be used as a pig shelter too next year. And it's going to be like 6 by 12. So it'll hold 2 round bales. And then he's got his feeder, which will be 3 round bales. So that would take him for 3 months. And we've gone ahead and stacked up a bunch of square bales here and upstairs. And generally speaking, a square bale will last the donkey about a day. Maybe a little longer, depending on how hungry he is and how good the hay is. And speaking of donkey, yeah, I didn't bring your treats out, but Mom will give you a treat.
So we did get a new thing for Ted, and that is this chafe hay. So this is a product that I haven't used in the past, but it's an alfalfa fermented feed with a little bit of molasses in it. And it's supposed to be a really good probiotic and a really healthy calorie addition for the horses. It's kind of a weird looking thing. It's sort of brownish, smells really nice and sweet like molasses, but doesn't have too much in it. It's supposed to be really, really good for their gut and their digestion. And he seems to really think it's quite tasty. So as soon as Ryan gets back over here, we'll give him a little bit of that and I'll let you guys see how he likes it. So because this is a new product for him, he's only been on this since yesterday. I'm only giving him about a pound so that he can kind of start to get used to it. So as you can see, I said this is an alfalfa product. It's fermented and it's chopped, so it's got really short stems. That makes it easy for him to eat. Because he is a 20-year-old horse, he's starting to get a little bit aged and a little impatient. And so it's important that he has a little bit more high quality feed to help him keep weight on through the winter. So that's why we started feeding this back. And as you can see, he's pretty anxious about it and he does really like it. So once we've had him on this for a week or so, we'll give you another review and let you know what we think of it and how he's doing on it. But so far, it seems to be a good solution to adding less grain and still keeping a good amount of forage in his diet. Another one of our chores that has to be done fairly regularly is adding shavings to the chicken coop nesting box. This gives them a comfortable place to lay and it helps keep them from breaking their eggs.
We think if you look inside here, come around and look in, you'll notice I made the opening pretty low. we're thinking about putting another board on here, maybe coming up another 3 inches. So it's a little tighter for them to get in, and they don't scratch as much as they want.
Yeah, they do have a tendency to throw all of their shavings out and into the chicken coop. So it's the same thing that they have in the bottom of the chicken coop, so that's not a big deal, except then they tend to not have enough to nest in, and we have to replace it really frequently. So we think this will help make it work out a little better once we add in extra.
And they tend not to eat their eggs if they don't break from natural causes. So I think a lot of times if there's not enough shavings in it and they lay an egg and it cracks, then they see it as food and they eat it. But if they, if the eggs aren't broken, they usually leave them alone pretty good. So go ahead and leave that. I'm gonna set that right over there because we're gonna clean this out another day. But that's kind of our farm chores, kind of a day on the a morning on the little farm, I guess you call it. So we're gonna go ahead and probably start loading the camper up today. We'll probably do another video here at some point and explain to you where we're going, the sites we want to see, and yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.